My name is Dianne Gray, and I'm here to share my Live On story with you. A lot of people see a little square picture on social media and they say, oh, yeah, I've seen her somewhere, or she works with so and so, or she writes about whatever. And yes, I do work with the Live On team, but I was also a caregiver for 14 years, and my son Austin had a rare 1 in a million brain disease. Unfortunately, Austin died. But on the flip side, I also was the recipient of tremendous love from him and also from a community of people who taught me a lot. So, what I'm going to share with you today are a few things that helped me throughout my grief journey, throughout my caregiving journey, because they're one and the same, and I don't know where I would be without these things. So, I'm going to share them with you. In short, I am so appreciative of all of the books that everyone sent me. But when I was caregiving, I could barely find time to grab a shower or eat a meal that was healthy and put it together, much less read an entire book. So I read bits and parts of them and I took what I could from those. But I also shared, I'm going to share with you a couple of things that I learned. So the first of all is I learned this from my grandma when I was a little kid. This is lavender oil. The scent of it. You can buy it in a grocery store or in a drugstore sometime. I would keep it with me because when I was, the anxiety would just increase off the chart, right? Because I was worried about the bills and the insurance and how was I going to care for my healthy daughter and how was I going to put a roof over our head and so on and so on. The mind would spin and spin and spin. And my grandma taught me this, and it's true, and it works. I would just take a minute, breathe in lavender, put it away, and try and just calm down. It really worked. I couldn't believe it. Another thing that I will share with you is I'm a huge fan of the sticky note. Now, first of all, I don't know about you guys, but in caregiving, I would forget everything except my son's medications, and I was and still remember those all these years later, quite honestly. But we're not so nice to ourselves as caregivers, right? We tend to beat up on ourselves and say, I didn't do this right or I didn't do that right. So I'm a fan of leaving a sticky note like this one says, you are perfectly imperfect. I thought it was good, and it still helps me in my journey. Why? Because none of us is perfect, and we shouldn't expect ourselves to be either, right? We wouldn't expect that of our loved ones who were sick, and I think it's okay to try and encourage oneself to hang in there. So whatever works for you in the sticky note department, even if it's pay the bills, walk the dog, go to the grocery store, but also say you're doing the best you can. Be kind to yourself, attitude of gratitude, those kinds of things, and leave those sticky notes where you can see them throughout the day. Another thing that worked for me, okay, I'm a huge fan of power walking. Whatever you need to do to exercise for 30 minutes every few days, or every day preferably, but every few days, do it. And here's why. Science shows that a healthy body creates a healthy mind, and you need to take care of your healthy mind and your healthy soul for a long time to come as caregivers. And also in the grief department, I can tell you, following the death of my son, I wasn't sure how I was going to survive, and I needed to be in tip top shape in order to navigate my grief as healthily as I could. And that doesn't mean I did it all right. I didn't. But it means that at least my body wasn't breaking down at the same time as my heart. Another thing that I do is I keep reminders of my son around, and I keep them in visual eyesight because it works for me. I'm a speaker and I speak all over the world. I carry this purple rock. Purple was his favorite color. Um, it helps me, and I like to feel him close. Another thing that I did and I still do is I focus on healthy eating. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm not prone to eating my handful of cookies and my, you know, whatever that I prefer every here and there, but I do try. And the reason is this: caregiving is hard work, and it also creates an unusual amount of stress in the body. And I want you to be as healthy as you can be through the process. And also, if your loved one doesn't make it, I want you to grieve as healthily as you can and I do understand that grief is hard work, and I do know firsthand that when I take better care of my own body, that my spirit does and feels a little bit better too. Those are just a couple things that work for me, along with prayer and meditation. I'm a huge advocate for both, for different reasons, and research shows that it does help. So those are a couple of things that help for me. That help me. I hope they help you. And in the meantime, I also know that an attitude of gratitude really helps. So on that note, I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful beyond for the Live On community. Um, I won't tear up in this video, but I am tremendously thankful for the work of the researchers and people at the Olivia Newton-John Cancer Wellness Center and the research that you're doing. You're truly making a difference in the lives of others. Sending you so much love. Bye.